My name is Robin Ketlinski, and I am an Associate Professor of History at LaGuardia Community College of the City University of New York. So for both my undergraduate and graduate studies, I did a focus on East Asian languages and civilizations. And during that time, I was also able to take part in a number of study abroad and homestay programs in Japan while I was learning the language. Each of the experiences that I had in Japan sort of strengthened my interest and my dedication to a career in Japanese studies. Separately, throughout my studies, I was also a collegiate athlete in track and field and cross country, and my interests in sports and in Japan kind of merged in graduate school during my doctoral research when I found this sort of dearth of information about women's sports in Japan. So I wound up writing the dissertation and later a book about the history of women's sports in Japan. My research has continued to focus on the intersections of sports and society in modern Japan, with a more recent focus on Olympic-related development in the Tokyo Bay area on artificial islands made from reclaimed land. The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was postponed in March of 2020 and most likely will take place in July 2021 now. This postponement raised all sorts of new questions about the tremendous economic and environmental resources that go towards these mega events. And as a result, I actually expect my research to remain relevant regardless of the fate of the 2020 Olympics. In fact, I would argue that it's more important than ever to have research on this topic, as I think the future of the Olympics is being rewritten at this moment.
My name is John Pitt, and I am Assistant Professor of Japanese Environmental Humanities at the University of California, Irvine. And I was a Japan Foundation Japanese Studies doctoral fellow for the academic year of 2018-2019. I situate my research within this emerging field of the environmental humanities. I'm interested in expanding the parameters of what we think of as literary studies, cinema studies, by looking for, new interdisciplinary approaches, things that would bring the humanities into more regular conversations with the sciences. Right now, I'm working on a book about modern writers and filmmakers in Japan that are very interested in plants, thinking about plants in very interesting ways. I'm looking at texts that use plant life as a way to reimagine what it means to be human. Often in response to, very tumultuous historical moments in Japanese history. I'm always looking for ways that science writing, kind of influences literature, filmmaking, then sort of thinking about how the natural world and scientific views of the world then kind of work their way back into the way that these filmmakers and writers imaginatively, sort of rethink their place in the world.